And that was the teaser for Omega Studios' newest hero that we'll be taking a look at here shortly. And if it was your first time seeing it, consider giving us a follow on social media at Predecessor Game on all platforms. Hello, and welcome to another Predecessor dev stream. My name is Choice Plays, and I'll be one of your hosts for today's patch 1.3 dev show. But I won't be hosting this alone. As you can see, joining me is none other than the queen of competitive Predecessor hosting, casting, and content, Rdawggg with the triple G's. How you doing, Rdawggg?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy I get to do this with you, Choice. My name is Rdawggg with the Triple G, co-hosting with the Choice Plays. But of course, it won't just be the two of us. Not just the two of us. Let's welcome in the People's Champion, CEO and founder of Omega Studios, RGS Ace. How are you, Robbie?
I'm good, thanks. How you guys doing?
Doing
well,
fantastic. Welcome in, Ace. We also have a legendary game designer himself, Bloodmordius. Welcome in, my friend. How's it going?
Yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, how you guys?
Hi, Blood. Welcome in, everybody. Now, chat, I know you have all been dying to see what we have in store for you today. We're seeing you in chat right now, but we have a lot to go through in this dev stream. We got some new items to spend our money on, changes to ranked, a little sneak peek at the next few months. But let's not beat around the bush. You wouldn't believe what we're about to see. We're coming in hot with the first ever look at Predecessor's brand new hero.
My love said to me, the forest will keep its secrets untold, where shadows sleep. Through twilight he came, and no soul remained. Light was devoured, his fury unchained. The trees moaned softly as they heralded death. The air turned to stillness. Through twilight he came, and people despaired. The leaves trembled black 'neath the cold moonlight's glare. He is the woods, the dark and deep, where silence falls and whispers creep. A monster forged when stars were born, a shadow cast in endless storm.
My God.
Now, that was our first look at Omega Studios' brand new original support, Mourn, available next Tuesday alongside patch 1.3. Now, before we unleash Bloodmordius to talk about everything about Mourn, I want to get Rdawgg's and Robbie's initial thoughts. Rdawggg, let us know.
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start. That was, wow, that was incredible. I would we have to give props to the, I have to give props to you guys. That was amazing. That was incredible. I'm at loss for words.
Yeah, rip Fangtooth.
Yeah.
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 And the minions, poor minions.
Yeah.
All right. So, Blood, tell us the story of how you brought Mourn to life here in Predecessor. What's the story like? What's the beginning to now? Like, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, with Mourn, we were definitely looking for a more sort of like monstrous take on the character after our recent releases and stuff, and try up some different ideas. So we started cooking, thinking of different ways we could present this. The main thing I tried to cling to initially was the idea of just a horror creature from like folklore and folk stories and stuff. So the idea is that Mourn basically comes from this forest in the center of a big region known as the Mist Meadow, which, fun fact, Mist Meadow Buckler, that's where it gets its name from. This shield designed to protect from the evils of that forest, which is just a fun little fact there. But yeah, with Mourn, he resides within this forest and he looks after it, and his whole idea is that he caters to the growth of it, and he lures creatures and people into there in order to basically sustain it. He sees himself essentially as a glorified gardener, but a very benevolent and evil one. But yeah, that was the general vibe we were sort of going for with him. And yeah, we're pretty happy with how he's ended up, both visually and also gameplay-wise to accommodate that. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. So he is kind of an evil support, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so yeah, most people might think he may be a jungler and such, just off his visual design and everything. But we are catering more towards the support role. There is a world in which he could jungle for people that want to try it out, but we're mainly catering towards the support role. We're looking to have a tankier character in the support role again, so something to flesh out the role for players like Richter players and Narbash players and stuff. A bit more engage potential. And we actually see this more as a more unique twist on the role, where he fulfills the idea of like a catcher, where you're looking to chase down opponents and hunt them down and lock them down for your team to basically eliminate. So a lot of his gameplay will support that. He's going to have a lot of tools to catch people out of position, but also keep his team alive, sustain his team, and allow them to basically push as a group towards the enemy. He basically embodies the sort of like in Rage of the Forest sort of idea.
Beautiful. Now, Robbie, have you had a chance to play this hero, and what do you think? What do you think about Mourn?
Yeah, I definitely had a chance to play Mourn. Pretty fun. I'm not usually someone that likes to play support because I like to get active, but yeah, I did have a lot of fun. He's I think I actually played him in the jungle. I think so. I tried it in the jungle, had a lot of fun. I'm not sure how much I can share about like what I did. We're allowed to talk about abilities and such, but yeah, definitely had a lot of fun playing him in the jungle. And his ultimate's pretty cool as well. I think it's cool for a support, but also works pretty well if you're playing in the jungle.
Okay. I'm very excited to see Mourn in the game. This trailer obviously is very sick, as you can see on the screen right now. I'm excited to see like more of the abilities and stuff, see it in game, see how it's going to actually shake up a little bit of the meta. I love the fact that we are getting another tank support, or at least a beefy support. So that's really exciting. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool. We only have to wait till Tuesday. I also saw the cat, Rdawggg.
My cat wants to be a part of the stream here. Say hello. This is Kobe. But chat, the developers have spoken about all the details. Well, a little sneak preview about Mourn. How do you guys feel so far? There are tremendous times that lie ahead. Do you guys have any tree puns? Because I'm pining for a new one, but they're not popular. Mourn isn't the only thing we have in store for you today. Sorry, it's so bad, but it's so good. We want to share some love with you guys, so please go ahead and type !Mourn in the chat, because there's a chance for you to win 500 platinum, and we'll pick a winner right after our next topic, which is tower plating. We're going to start with you, Blood. Tower plating. What is it, and how exactly does it work?
Yeah, so tower plating, essentially, for anyone that wouldn't be familiar with a similar mechanic from a similar game, essentially the tier 1 towers have their health bar sort of separated into 4 segments, and each of these segments is, as I said, 25% of its HP. And when you destroy one of these segments, what we do is we launch this little gold consumable onto the floor that you can then pick up, and it'll provide gold for yourself and nearby teammates. There'll be 2 of them every time you take a plate. And yeah, you'll be able to see it on screen as well. Each one will provide this and increase the durability of the tower each time it happens. The tower gets gradually harder to destroy as you decrease its HP. And for a temporary period of time, when you do take a plate, the tower is also more durable and has increased defenses for a period of time as well. That also further increases the more heroes that are around it. So the main idea we have it this way is so that we're not incentivizing people to group up and take towers early, like really heavily, and basically take all this gold. We want to provide much more sort of favorable lane matchups and advantage when they're pushing. So if they're able to push up to the tower, take the risk, take down the tower plates, they're able to require more gold and basically push their lead further as an individual. But then we do have this gate to stop people from deathballing and grouping up on these towers and taking them too fast. So it sort of sets the pace for laning phase as well. They drop off after about 12 minutes, and then the tower functions as normal. It's pretty easy to take, and those tier 1s can start dropping, and that's when mid-game begins.
And now that we have this new addition, tower plating, why did we decide to have tower plating? You're kind of mentioning, we're changing up the pace of the gameplay. Are there any other reasons why we have it?
It's just mainly for players to be able to push their individual leads and give a bit more autonomy to the individual. If you're an offlaner and you're performing really well and you're beating your lane opponent up and you're pushing your tower in your lead, we want to grant more gold to that person and make them able to carry from that position if they are overperforming during the laning phase. But it can also be a nice comeback mechanic for good wave management and things. Say you're in a more defensive position. If you're able to fend enemies away from these gold drops and they miss out on that standing gold, it's now gone. Essentially, it's disappeared from the map. But theirs is still there for the taking for the early game, so you'll be able to come back and take that tower as well and do your phase of the pushing and trying to acquire that gold. So the nice way with the gold dropping on the floor is you have this nice dynamic of they have to come pick it up and you can contest it, and there's telegraphing of abilities and push and pull, and you get a bit of a little sort of ring around the rosy for it.
Yeah, fantastic. I can just imagine the plays in my head and how this will look, especially in the competitive scene. But Robbie, how do you feel about it, and how has it changed the feel of the game? Are there any new strategies emerging or that have emerged that you've observed in the laning phase?
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. I think there's a few things. So one is, when you're taking a tower and you're trying to get it 25% down, you're like, should I stay or risk my life and try and get the gold, or should I just run? And I'm like, I should probably stay. And then the gold orbs come, and then you're trying to chase after the orbs, but then you get ganked and die. So I think it adds a very interesting dynamic to where before you might just whack the tower kind of aimlessly. You're just standing there hitting it, and then someone comes, you're like, cool, I'm just gonna run away or flash or teleport. Now you're like, I probably need to think about this because I need to get this extra gold that's gonna drop. And it also doesn't always fall in a favorable position. Sometimes you have to kind of run towards it. So you need to factor that in. And then the other thing that I think is pretty interesting is once as Declan mentioned, once you get the first milestone, and then each milestone after, the tower is sort of protected a little bit more. So it means that you can't just consistently run it down. So I think it gives people a little bit more of time to react to what's happening to their towers as well. So I found the change pretty good. It feels quite rewarding when you pull it off. And then for the enemy, it also feels like I have a chance to stop this person from just completely destroying my tier 1 tower straight away.
Yeah, it definitely does change the pacing of the game from what you said. There are so many different avenues during the game, right? You could either go for the one tower plate, or maybe if the Fangtooth objective is coming up, what's worth more? And also just keeping track of where your enemy is, the one that you're laning against. But what's up next, Choice?
Oh yeah, we've got more stuff on the docket. I'm very excited for tower plating. This looks really cool. This is actually the first time I'm watching through the video, so seeing the little gold orbs drop on the floor and actually going grabbing them, that's really cool. Especially if you want to split it with your jungler who's helping to push your lane or something like that. That's really freaking cool. So excited for this to come to the game, but we've also got new items coming into the game. Now, we and by we I mean Ameda Studios, has teased a little bit of the some of the new items like Lucky Feather. I think Robbie, you were the one on the video talking about Lucky Feather and then Quantum Core and stuff like that. But we have more than just that, and let's talk about it a little bit. But before we do, I want to draw the first winner of our 500 plat giveaway with the exclamation point Mourn. I am going to give you guys like another 30 seconds in case you haven't done it yet. Don't worry. Exclamation point Mourn. We still have 2 more 500 plat giveaways to do this stream, so don't worry about it. Looks like everybody's getting them in. But you know what? I want to pull a little bit of a Stegs here. Stegs, it's usually at the beginning of the stream that he does this, but it's he likes to call out, you know, the people in chat. So let's do that a little bit. Never mind. Chat's going too fast. You guys are too fast. You're on it. You're way too fast. Okay, I see Flicky Shot. I saw oh my gosh. There's way too many. You guys are very fast. Hi, Lesbian Alchemy. I appreciate you. I could see that one. I see Stegs in the chat right now. Hi, Stegs. I don't know how you did this before, Stegs, but you're incredible. I see Trev Games. F6, I see you. El Dudikoff. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Judy's in the chat. This is bad. All right, everybody. I'm going to be pulling this first winner. Okay. Here it comes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choosing a winner is Xana Zerg. Xana Zerg. You are our first winner. So if you could make sure you give us a DM here on Twitch, or you can DM Stegs from Discord to make sure that you get your 500 plat reward. Okay, now let's talk. And it is not rigged, Pinzo. I saw you. It is not rigged.
It's not rigged.
All right, let's talk about some of these new items. Blood. We've already kind of talked about Lucky Feather a little bit. We've already talked about Quantum Core. Let's talk a little bit more of some of these other items.
Yeah, so there's lots of new exciting things that we're introducing of this patch in terms of items. As stated, you've already talked a little bit about our new blink effect and the sort of effects that's going to bring to the lane. So I'll just sort of reiterate on a bit, but Quantum Core is this tier 3 option for supports mostly, but anyone can pick it up. Nice little stat stick just for some health in the lane, but otherwise is mainly made for these aggressive plays. Your blink turns into this out of combat blink that allows you to use it more often, basically, less cooldown, and it also gives you some ultimate haste to allow you to utilize your ultimate more often. So this is great. It also opens up more avenues for more supports to come into the game, in terms of maybe you want to play some Grux support, you want to play more Aurora support. These characters that are really like ultimate reliant gain a lot of benefit out of this item, and they obviously like to blink aggressively to create those plays. So they're going to enjoy this new item a lot. It's very exciting. I think it's going to be a really fun one and shake up the meta quite a bit, particularly in the support role. But even if you're like off lane and playing like Steel or Richter or whatever, there's room to pick this item up and create a lot of fun plays. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, we have Lucky Feather, as you mentioned, as well. Nice early game pickup that you can try and pick up and be a bit more greedy, accrue a bit more gold. There's risk to it. You can die and lose the item, and you lose all the benefit from it essentially, as well as the gold for selling it and such. So it will just destroy itself. It's very sort of reminiscent of the combustible items from Paragon, if people ever remember those, and the high risk, high reward gameplay. So a very different play style that I think is pretty exciting. We've got everyone always talks about the mana issues that they can have in lane, and they don't want to invest more into mana itemization and stuff. And everyone's always like, where's the mana potion and stuff? So we've got a upgrade to the consumable, a refillable potion that you can buy. You can buy it straight from the start of the game as well, 350 gold, that turns into this new type of potion called the Divine Potion. This will grant additional health regen, but also mana regen. So if you feel like you're a character that doesn't want to invest in like a full mana item for your first purchase or anything like that, you can pick this up a little bit cheaper, and you'll be able to get some mana benefit, mana sustain in the early stages. And as you level up and get more mana, you won't have to worry as much about it. So a little bit of early gold investment, but you get a big payoff for your lane. Yeah, and then in terms of more T3 items, we have a new assassin item called Spear of Desolation. That's pretty exciting. So this one, when you basically use your ultimate, you just deal a bunch more damage for a period of time. And again, it's another one of these ultimate ability haste items. It's like this new mechanic we're introducing, where specifically your ultimate's going to get reduced cooldown. This is great for like characters like Kalari, who have these really high impact ultimates and moments where they can initiate with it, and then they can blow through their entire like cooldowns and everything, do a ton of damage to try and nuke a target individually. So for those ultimate reliant characters that want to burst targets down, super good pickup for them. Otherwise, just a standard assassin item. Quite a fun one we've got coming is Psionic Echo. This is also an assassin item, but more for these auto attack oriented ones, people that like to weave their basic attacks in between all their abilities and stuff. So maybe your Feng Mao players and such. Essentially, you get a bunch of attack speed after casting an ability, and if you're a melee hero, it also resets your basic attack timer. So as a character like Feng Mao, you can dash in, you get a bunch of attack speed, hit them a bunch, and then you can use your E and get a bunch of attack speed and hit them a bunch, use your shield, get a bunch of attack speed and hit them a bunch. So it's kind of like a Spellblade, but you're just hitting faster rather than harder. And there's lots of cool synergies with that, with things like Spellblade and Deathstalker that can allow you to create some really cool, more innovative assassin builds that utilize your basic attacks more, which is pretty fun. You can also fit it into some more like pen on hit ADC builds as well, like TB and stuff, and double dip into that route, which, yeah, whilst we're on that, we also have some item reworks and returning items coming. So Viper is coming back, which is a big one to point out. Then we have the Shred when you basic attack targets, but we've reworked the secondary passive. So instead of having increased crit damage, you basically deal increased on-hit damage and ability damage to fully shredded targets. This makes it like great synergy with items like Psionic Echo and allows you some really cool synergistic plays there. Then we also have Rapture, which is a item that's going to be taking Bonesaw's place for now, basically fulfilling the niche of our melee bruisers that love to basic attack a lot. Again, this is something you could also pair with Psionic Echo if you're going a more aggressive build of characters like Chimera or Rux. But Rapture basically provides you a lot of on-hit damage, but only if you're within a very particular range of the target. So you have to be pretty close to them, which means only melee characters are really going to utilize it. And it gives you a bunch of Omnivamp, health, attack speed, and all the things that like a auto attack based bruiser would prefer. So till we work out what we want to do with Bonesaw's like slowing mechanic and stuff for melee characters and how we want them to stick, this is its current replacement. Pairing that, we also have Tyranny, another bruiser option. It's really fun on characters like Rampage or Zarus, where when you pop your ultimate, again, ultimate ability haste item for bruisers, gives you a bunch of HP power. But when you pop that ultimate, you get more ability haste, and it's like a 30 ability haste stat stick. So it's going to be a ton of CDR for you. So you can spam your abilities more, and it's really important for those characters that go in, pop their ultimate. And the cool thing about this one is you get that ability haste and you get a burst of move speed. But then when you kill a target or take down a target, you reset the effect again, so you can keep chaining into more kills. So if you're a Rampage and you ult and you jump in and use your rock and you kill a target, and then you move to the next target, you have another rock, and then you kill that target, and you move to the next target, and you get your next rock, and you get going with it. You just keep chaining your kills together. So there's some fun synergies of that one too, with other items such as Penumbra and all sorts of cool things you can do. So maybe there's some creative builds there that could be really fun. And then finally, we have a item called Catalytic Drive, which is like an MR option for tanks. We felt that tanks weren't able to sustain the lane too well in the early stages when it came to playing against characters like Shinbi or Guang or Morigesh or anything like this, particularly in the offlane. So we're giving an option that gives some early sustain where you basically punch a minion and it will instantly kill it. It will heal you and it will go on cooldown and stuff, give you some extra gold. And you do this like 20 times or so, and it will upgrade and give you a bunch of bonus armor and magic resistant stuff or magical armor, which allow you to then like scale into the late game. So it's like a scaling tank item that will help you like survive the laning phase against these magical damage threats. And finally, we have some item reworks alongside Viper coming back. We have Basilisk is getting a new passive where instead of the extra on-hit damage, kind of similar to what Viper's doing now, it instead gives you movement speed when you hit fully corroded targets that will help you stick to people in a healthier way rather than Bonesaw's slow, which was a bit more obnoxious. Onyxian Quiver is granting additional crit chance to melee users, but it's based on your current crit. So imagine it like you get 20% crit per an item. But if you have an Ixion, you get 25% instead, which means you only need to build 4 crit items to complete your build on a melee character. And this allows them to build more defensive options or whatever extra choice of an item slot there, rather than dipping into 5 crit items, which can help them. Demolisher we felt was a bit too much of a catch-all item. It was doing a bit of everything in terms of the anti-tank side of things, with countering health and armor, and it made it really good against bruises, and you kind of just bought it every game. So we're catering it more towards armor only, where the pen is now based on a combination of their overall armor, but also their bonus armor that they build, and the health passive's completely removed. This means that you pick this up when you're fighting high armor targets, but not necessarily just high HP targets. And instead, you just build more damage against them, more crit, more power, and just melt them with your raw damage. And finally is Solaris, where we want to make sure this first item option for Spellblade carries that want to basically buy this first item in lane have a bit more sustain, so it now heals them a little bit. And the damage can now critically strike rather than scale with crit chance. So it scales a bit more linearly. But yeah, I think that's all of them.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like there's a ton of getting active items in there. And that's what Robbie was saying earlier. He's like, I like to get active. So, Robbie, what has been your favorite new item so far among this new batch?
I think probably I like Lucky Feather. Because of the risk reward. I think that one has always been just pretty interesting to me. And then I like the Quantum Core as well, because you get to blink more. Like, I guess you can't blink like while you're in combat, but you can like kind of get in. And so I think that item really forces people to get active, because there's no point using it. Like, you can't use it during a team fight, so you got to use it to get into the fight. So I really like that one. So yeah, those are probably my 2 favorites at the moment. But I also like the health potion kind of upgrade as well. I know a lot of people have asked for that. I think that's quite nice. I obviously manage my mana effectively, so I don't really need it. But for the rest of you guys, I feel like that's a great addition to the game. What about you guys? I know you guys haven't played it, but any that really caught your eyes?
You know what? I am not like you, Robbie. Unfortunately, I use up my mana a lot. I spam my abilities constantly. So, that divine potion does call out to me. So I think I'm going to be super excited to use that. And then, of course, I do like the ability that the item Quantum Core. Just the name itself, just rolls off the tongue, which is like a teleblink. Can you actually so you buy this item, and what are the other passive effects that come with it? Or is it just a blink type or blink item, or Blood or Robbie?
Yeah, so it changes your blink into the teleblink,
Okay.
but then it also gives you the ultimate ability haste, which is kind of the other passive, so reducing the cooldown of your ultimate. It's kind of like a stat, but we tend to put it in the passive just to highlight it a little bit, because it's the big important part of the item.
Oh, I see. So that's why you said it'll be, I guess it makes other heroes more viable in the support role, because they'll have that ultimate haste. They'll be able to, use their ult a lot more often, and then they can use their blink. Yeah, use this item to get in there. I guess, overall, I really love the names for these items: Quantum Core, Spare of Desolation, Psionic Echo. Just summarizing what you've kind of talked so far. So we've got a new blink type, we've got new consumables, you got new T3s and item reworks. We kind of asked Robbie what kind of items he likes, but Blood, what about you? What's calling out to you?
Yeah, I think Quantum Core is definitely a big one, just because of the meta shifts. I love the idea that we can play more characters in different roles or different play styles and things like that. Funny enough, I think Psionic Echo is also a really good one for that. Like I said, there's just cool builds you can do with it. There's a lot of creative stuff you can get. Same with Tyranny. I think they just all offer more options for players to figure out new stuff within the meta, basically, and basically change their the game to their play style, basically, right, and play the way they want to play. And I think that's the most exciting part of the items for me.
I hope chat is also excited about all of these new changes, and because I'm looking forward to this patch that's coming up January 14th here. But Choice, I think it's time for another giveaway.
I think you're absolutely correct. So, once again, I'm going to be pulling from the same keyword. It is !Mourn. Hold on, let me just let me double check this. Yeah. Perfect. All right, I see everybody in there. If you've done it once, don't do it again. Okay? But you're all entered. I see. Oh yeah, here we go. More Mourns. I'm really excited for Mourn. Like, just every time I'm seeing this now, it gets me really excited to see Mourn in the game, especially with all these new items. I mean, you guys were talking about it. The Quantum Core thing, I think of right now, Crazy Fool, who's been playing a lot of Aurora support in preps for PCCX this weekend. That would be pretty crazy to have Quantum Core on something like that. All right, everybody. OG Shinigami, don't say that. That's not right. All right, everybody. I'm about to pull this right now in 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm seeing these aren't correct. Some of these are not right. Okay. I see you guys being weird in the chat. Okay. All right. But it looks like Parapow SLB. Parapow SLB. You are the winner of our second 500 plat giveaway. Make sure to DM on Twitch here, the Predecessor Game account. And if you can't do that, DM Stegs on Discord. Sorry, Stegs. I'm sending them all to you. And Pinzo, it is not rigged again, okay? It is not rigged. All right, everybody. So we've talked about the new support hero, Mourn. We've talked about tower plating. We've talked about new items. Now let's talk a little bit about what's coming soon to the game. This one's very exciting. I was actually talking to Blood earlier before the stream. I was like, how's it feel? 1.3 is around the corner. How do you feel about that? And he's like, my mind's already on 1.4. So let's talk a little bit about some future stuff coming to Pred. Let's actually start with let's start with Robbie first. Let me look at my little sheet here. We're gonna start wrapping it up here, but 1.4, 1.5. What can people expect from those updates?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming in 1.4. I'll let Declan talk about some of the gameplay stuff, but I saw some people ask for a battle pass, so there's a battle pass coming in 1.4. There's also a quest system coming as well, like quest system planned, so you'll be able to get different types of quests and earn rewards for that. What else do we have? Let me have a look at the list. Oh yeah, we have the voice chat integration as well. That one's pretty exciting because I think MOBAs are really fun when you can actually communicate with people over voice. So there's voice, text that are coming, and there's some changes that are coming with that too. So those are just a few of the things that are coming. We also have the daily login rewards. I think they're coming before 1.4 actually. I think they're in 1.3.x. So there's stuff in 1.3.x as well. I think those are some of the main things that are coming, and then Declan can share some of the gameplay changes that are coming up as well.
Yeah, gosh, there is so much to cover, so I'll try and break it down in a nice, easy way. But essentially, we have heroes, and we have Fangtooth, and then we have the game as a whole. These are the three things I'll quickly touch on. So for Fangtooth, because it's probably the shortest of the bunch, we're looking into variations for Fangtooth, basically. These will be basically different kinds that will spawn and give you different buffs when you kill them, and they'll have different abilities and things like this. But the most interesting part about it is the primal version will also have different variants linked to these previous ones. And that primal that spawns that game will be the same type. So if you have like a gravity Fangtooth spawn, then you have a gravity primal. That gravity primal will now possess exist for the rest of the game. And this Gravity Primal will also have its own unique ability rather than just the Fire Breath and stuff. And it will also grant you a unique buff to itself rather than just the generic Primal Burn. These kind of effects will be pretty impactful. Again, rewarding you for taking it will be lowering the generic effect for the Primals and giving them something a bit more of a unique twist. So we're hoping this just adds a lot more variation to the game, makes each game feel a bit more different. This was my Gravity Primal Fangtooth game, and this was the buff we got, and this was a really cool moment. These are the kind of things where we're hoping players explore and enjoy, and we're hoping to bring more unique mechanics to these Fangtooth variants as time goes on as well, whether it's new abilities or their pits or anything like that. We'll be looking at how we can make the experience of interacting with these Fangtooth variations just much more interesting. So that's one I'm pretty excited for. The second will be sort of game as a whole in terms of game pacing and game state. Basically, we want to make sure the games are ending consistently in a fair manner, and there's a lot of things that need to tune for this. We also want to be able to provide leads to people when they deserve it, and also leave plenty of room for comeback potential. So these are all things that we just want to exaggerate further. This is going to be touching on tower like durability values, tower damage values to make them like safer points, but also easier to take points when you have leads. Minions being something that you actually play around a little bit more in lane and respect a little bit more, so they become a little bit more of a threat, but also something you control and play around, create a bit more lane dynamic there and feel a bit more threat, so you can't just run at people when you do have leads. And then mainly just in terms of like how the game closes out with orb and stuff, we want to make it a bit more, I wouldn't say necessarily extreme. I want to make sure that the fights end in a very particular way. So when you take Orb Prime, one thing we're looking to do is like remove the regen, for example, but put power elsewhere into the buff. And the main reason for this is that we don't have these long drawn out sieges, but we have these situations where a team can kill you because they can't, like when you're defending, one of your win conditions is poke the enemy team down, engage them and kill them. But if they have this sustain all the time, you actually can't engage on the enemy team and take them out, because you can never poke them down to a reasonable length, and it's hard for you to just 100 to 0 people when you're behind, right? So we're basically giving them more opportunity to actually kill the people with Orb Prime buff if they are decisive and make a good play, and allow comeback that way. But the team that's ahead, because they have power more in either damage or their minions and things like this, along with the new primal buffs, they'll be able to end the game a bit quicker when they're actually playing well. So basically, when a team is actually making good plays, they should be able to either save the game or close out the game quicker and more healthy, rather than having these weird middle points where some people die and some people don't, and then you kill a few people and they don't, and now you've got 2 and 2 and there's no major objectives on the map, and it's like, what do? We wait 5 minutes till our major objectives respawn again. So we want to make sure like that area of the game makes a bit more sense, and players are able to make more decisive and creative calls. Then the largest part of the update, the part I've been quite excited about because I've worked very heavily on it and been thinking about it for, has to be years at this point. Basically, every hero is going to get adjustments, pretty heavy-handed ones. We're going to touch pretty much every single one. Some will only be in a balanced capacity, but if it is, it's still a very heavy-handed one. We basically, what I've done is analyzed every single individual character, been looking at all the feedback for every individual character that people have given, all the issues people have quality of life-wise, all the bugs and stuff people come across with the character, and just thinking, how can we make this character's experience much better? How do we make the power fantasy they're promising the player more exciting and more fun, and push them further that direction? So basically, the average hero sort of like power budget will rise a little bit as they all gain a little bit more towards their strengths. A character like Argus, for example, who's more of a DPS oriented mage, we will push him more that direction and buff elements of him that matter in that sense, because a lot of our recent balance patches over the past year have been very nerf focused, very, very sort of bring things in line, but it has taken a lot of the power away from the particular characters. So there's lots of fun new mechanics coming as well. Some characters will get new abilities, some characters might get a new passive, some characters might just get some mechanical changes, and then pretty much everyone will get balance adjustments. And these are all in line with the goal that when a player gets ahead with their character, they feel like their character is doing what their character should be doing really, really well, and they should be experiencing that power fantasy and that fun element to them.
It's really,
Amazing.
really exciting. Yeah.
Blood, you're just an arsenal of knowledge, by the way. You're just emanating passion about how you just know so much about the game. So we went over, so there will be hero reworks, there will be Fangtooth and Orb reworks / variants. There's going to be voice chat. And then Robbie kind of briefly touched on more retention systems. We know that there are a lot of people who are looking for more incentives to play, more reasons to play. I know for a fact I'm going to be grinding just like what I did with the previous battle pass. Okay, I'm going to put in my time, but there are some people who are also asking about features for ranked. Okay, we're going to have second bans, placement systems, and hero intents. Robbie, can you please expand on these new ranked features?
Yeah, sure. So we obviously had a lot of feedback from people about what they thought of ranked, and so we just went through all the feedback and saw these few things as kind of the highest priorities to add in. So yeah, really excited to add in a second ban. I think one of the complaints people had was that people would often ban the same hero, so this should avoid that. So yeah, I think hopefully this makes ranked just a better experience for everyone.
Yeah, and I also heard it through the grapevine that there will be a ranked test. What does that mean for our competitive predecessor players climbing up the ranks? How long will they be able to rank for?
Yeah, so soon we'll be introducing a short test for ranked mode where it'll be enabled 24/7, and we'll monitor it to see how it affects players' experience, the quality, and if it all goes well, we'll enable that in. We'll look to like release it with 1.4. So we'll be gathering feedback shortly, and then kind of making the decisions based on player feedback for 1.4.
Fantastic. This is what a lot of people have been asking about. 24/7 ranked ? And there it is. Robbie has outlined it all. Just to kind of briefly summarize yet again what we've talked about, there's going to be a little bit of a rank test. There are some new and improved features with ranked. So a second ban, you'll have a placement system, hero intents, there's voice chat. We've got more retention systems. There are more reasons for us to play besides the fun part, of course. There are hero reworks and Fangtooth and Orb reworks.
Yep. And also there's the central servers as well. So
Yes. Also the central servers. We cannot forget that. You know, Choice Plays and I are from NA West. So now we get the central server. Yay.
Now everyone will know that I'm actually bad. I can't blame it on ping anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited. There's like even more stuff that's coming in these patches. So this is kind of just like a little sneak preview. But yeah, super excited to share more. And I guess you guys will see in the next few, patch notes will come out. But then 1.3.x has quite a bit, and then 1.4 has a lot more stuff as well. So really excited to see what you guys think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So excited. Anything else from you, Blood?
No, I'm really excited. I'm curious how everyone will find all the big changes to characters and stuff. I look forward to revealing more closer to the date and seeing what we're doing with them. I'm super excited for it. I'm really looking forward to certain characters. There's some crazy stuff in there.
Awesome. Well, I am so excited as well. 1.3 is around the corner. And then after that, it's 1.4 and all these other stuff that you guys are talking about. So I'm very excited for 2025, the year of Predecessor, baby. I'm excited for that. But before we go, we have one more 500 plat giveaway that I want to do. And then I was actually told that we have an extra little giveaway for some people on the day of 1.3 coming out. That next giveaway will be for to get Mourn for free on the day of the patch. So we have one extra giveaway. So everyone get your exclamation point Mourn in the chat. So this one will be for 500 plat. And then the next one will be to get Mourn day that it drops. And that'll be very, very exciting. I see everybody getting their getting their exclamation point Mourn in. Yeah. All right. I'm going to be drawing in 5, 4, 3, 2. There's still a lot of people. 1, and there it is. A lot of letters. DNLTVRS. DNLTVRS. Whatever that means. You won 500 plat. Very excited. Once again, DM us here on Twitch at Predecessor Game or Stegs on Discord. Sorry, Stegs, once again. But we have one more giveaway to give away. It's happening. I'm going to pull it pretty much right away. Here we go. Pulling. All right. Brave Ulysses. Brave Ulysses. You get Mourn day of the patch dropping next Tuesday, 1.3. So once again, DM us here on Predecessor Game or Stegs on Discord. Well, what a fantastic day for for a dev stream. Thank you guys so much for hopping on, Robbie and Blood, as well as Rdawggg with the triple G's, for taking us through an exciting patch coming next Tuesday. I'm very stoked for it. I kind of want to get like some final thoughts for you from you, I guess. Rdawggg, final thoughts from you, and then we'll go to Robbie and Blood.
I'm looking for other words besides exciting, enthused, ecstatic, delighted. I can't wait for this patch. 1.3 is coming in hot, January 14th. I hope this is, you know what, guys? This is just the tip of the log. This is just the tip of the log, okay? And Mourn, I'm excited to get my hands on him and play him in whatever role I can.
Robbie?
I'm super excited. I really want to see what people think of Mourn and all the new items, and then the changes we've made with tower plating, and then really excited to kind of continue that into 1.3.x and 1.4 and see all the changes that are happening there. It's pretty nuts. So yeah, really excited to see what people think.
Cool. Yeah, and then for myself, I mean, I'm really excited for the same things. Really excited to see how creative the players get with all the new items and everything. It's going to be really fun. And I'm also really looking forward to PCC this weekend. I've been loving watching competitive Pred recently. It's super fun. I've been watching a lot of scrims and people playing. It's always really fun to see. Stay up late at night watching them all. And I look forward to seeing how the tournament goes and how the patch affects all the games, because it's going to be some big shakeups. Exciting.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so cool to see, all these competitive players come in, shake up the meta, and then 1.3 comes, shakes it up once again. So that's this weekend. PCCX, just throwing that out there since I'm here. Sorry, Robbie.
Yeah.
I took my opportunity. Here it is. PCCX this weekend. Watch it. But anyways, thank you guys so much. We're going to be rating one of our Predecessor Creator Guild guildies. So go give them some love. Tell them that they're awesome, because you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you in the next one. Peace out.
Bye.